Chamisa batia butewe choko ngari tenderewe Kariba kashika choko we Chamisa batia butewe Darwe ni kashika choko we batia butewe Tikadai so Mukomana Mujidai so Mukadai Mukomana Bere Barakasika ere sokowe Mukomana atia butewe atia butewe Tikadai so Mukomana atia butewe Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Zimbabweans, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are live here on Change Radio, the radio itself, Change Radio Facebook, Change Radio YouTube, and we are also live on ZimI. We welcome you to this Change Radio special edition program where we are talking about the lead that President Chamisa has opened over Emerson Mnangagwa in the forthcoming general elections. And of course, this is coming from a very authentic, very reliable study that was done by a very authentic company, internationally recognized company called Brand Hoster Foundation, based in the United Kingdom. And of course, they did this in conjunction with another world recognized organization called Sabi Strategist Group. So we are going to discuss this and many other versions, and I'll be joined with many other people that will be coming on. And if you are joining and you want to be part of this discussion, please just write in the comment section. But meanwhile, let's share this video with as many people as possible so that we can discuss some good news, not some, gloomy news that we usually talk about, people being beaten up, people being persecuted by ZANU-PF. This is good news, and we'll discuss that in depth. How good is it, and how best can we use this to our advantage as CCC, as citizens, and can there be any drawbacks or disadvantages from such researches or from such studies? We'll be discussing this right here, and we want to hear what you think about this. Please do write in the comment section so that we can have a conversation. Dr. Rico will be joining us later, and I know my partner in crime, Barbara, will also be joining in. But that's the headline. President Chamisa opens 18-point lead over Mnangagwa. stud reviews. This is beautiful news. But of course, before we get into that, let's share some news that happened today. You know, our brother Tino Chiremba was laid to rest today in Gokwe. And once again, we want to say nematambudziko kumhuri kwa Chiremba, nematambudziko ku branch redu reAustralia vaishanda na Tino Chiremba, and all those that were working with Tino Chiremba on various programs of the party. I know he was a very big participant on the village and fundraising initiatives. He was always there. We want to say nematambudziko kwavari zvakare, and we continue to say may his soul rest not only in peace but in power. This guy is someone who contributed greatly to our struggle. Fourth Chimurenga, fourth Umvukela, and he's one person we are going to remember as we go into our independence, the real independence after July. And we'll be telling our leaders that people like Tino Chiremba need to be recognized. These are the heroes of our modern day Chimurenga. So we say to Tino, rest in peace, young brother. And I know with the work that you did, with everything that you did when you were here in Australia, in Zimbabwe, and in the world at large, this work that you did will inspire millions, will inspire citizens of Zimbabwe. It will inspire citizens to rise up and do more, service and sacrifice that you were doing when you were here. So this is Change Radio paying tribute to Tino Chiremba. Yes, today I'm alone, right? Can I see some comments here? Let me interact with some people. Comment section, where are you? Let's hear what you think about what is going on, and of course other news that is trickling in. Of course, we are having a number of CC Andei aticheuke kumashure taenda takaenda. Someone need to tell me what exactly this means. I just hear the young people saying taenda takaenda. Mr. Nue, maybe you can tell us what that means sometime. Evangelist Musarurwa ngapinde hake muchinda uyu anzi kupinda kwa baba ashi tese tinenge tapinda, kupinda kwa baba ashi, kupinda kwako, kupinda kwe Zimbabwe, kupinda kwe ma citizens ese kusikumbori kungopinda kwe mkomana chete. Don't take it the way you read it. Don't take it literally, because kupinda kwe mkomana, kupinda kwe Zimbabwe yese, kupinda kwe mkomana means a lot. Means we are now getting good roads, very good roads. We are now getting spaghetti roads. They are a reality. In my lifetime, I know we are going to see spaghetti roads in Zimbabwe, and it's not a pipe dream. It's something that can be achieved. Saka ngapinda age mkomana, so that we get medication in our hospitals, we get better schools, and of course jobs. He would definitely bring jobs when he come in. Simba Mukanda Tsama, murume akanga achita naro nemi anorwara. I know Simba is talking about yes, this madman from ZANU-PF. I understand now that he lives in the United Kingdom, and you would just be interjecting when one is speaking. That's not the way we debate issues. That's not the way we participate in a program. We were at VOA, and he was just making a nuisance of himself. It's very unfortunate. He just showed that that's ZANU-PF. That's who they are. So yeah, thank you very much, Simba, for that. I appreciate that you were there witnessing the madness of ZANU-PF. And before we get into our topic of discussion today or tonight or this morning, depending on where you are, yes, Triple C is having a number of rallies all over the country. I know Honorable Chipaya will be in Chivi, and interim VP Mike Linet Karenyi Kore will be in Bikita, and another rally in Mangwe, Bulilima. People, it is Bulilima Mangwe, but the two districts are separate. And there is another rally going on in Mangwe. These rallies are on tomorrow. So yeah, there will be a lot happening. There is actually a lot happening that is speaking to our discussion tonight. The youth are working. You saw the task force leader, our young men, and we young men, not only young men, young men and young women are all over the country talking to the youth, persuading the youth to go and register to vote. And our women task force have also hit the ground running. Maimkwada and Stabile, all over the country. They were in Bulawayo, they were in Gweru, they were in Kwekwe, they were in Chinoi, they were in Harare, and I know today they were in Gokwe as well. So there is a lot of work that is happening that will definitely usher in Mukomana. Now, let's get to the topic of discussion. President Chamisa opening a 13-point lead. It's the reports, the research is saying President Chamisa, if elections are done today, if elections are held tomorrow, President Chamisa would win 53%. I told you this is good news. I told you this is good news. 53% of the votes would go to President Chamisa, meaning you would have won the majority. There will not be any rerun. It will just be a straight win, landslide win. And how many votes or percentage votes Emerson Mnangagwa will get according to the research that was done? Emerson Mnangagwa would walk away with a paltry 40%. This is minus or plus, like in all the researches that can be done. They cannot be accurate. But what I like about this report is it's done by a reputable company, reputable organization, and there cannot be any doubt as to how it was conducted. It's an organization that has its reputation at stake. So they would not do anything. They would not necessarily favor Triple C or President Chamisa just like that. They do world-class reports. They were involved in Zambia. They did a research about the Zambian election, and they predicted a win for HH. And they've done that in many other elections, including the UK elections, USA elections. So this is a company that has a lot at stake. I know I'm saying this because we have heard, people like Jonathan Moyo, the party spoilers. You know how they are, the party spoilers. They would always come in and say, things. Jonathan Moyo was trying to shoot down the research, but he had nothing, that was tangible, that was provable. He talks about V11s. He didn't have any V11s himself to prove that this research was now in void or was not accurate. And that's very unfortunate. It's a report, a research or a study that was done by Sabi Strategist Group, a very authentic group. And this obviously reflects public perception. It reflects what the Zimbabwean people are thinking. People were asked in a questionnaire, very stringent questionnaire with specific questions, and the sample was big enough, large enough, to warrant, the results that we have. public perception is saying President Chamisa is winning. I want that to sink in, because very soon we'll be talking about why this is important. If Estella, you want to come in and say something as you prepare to just show something, so show some videos, because we're talking about public perception that was captured in the study, and we're also looking at now public perception that we are seeing when President Chamisa is out there with the people. Look at the perception, look at the reception that he receives, how he is liked, how he is loved by the people, how he is appreciated. So we're just telling the people, telling you right now, that it just doesn't happen in the rallies. It just doesn't happen when President Chamisa is walking past a shopping center or something. It's there as well in the numbers, and numbers do not lie. Numbers do not lie. If you want to fight or if you want to argue with numbers, that's your problem. But let me welcome my partner in crime here, Barbara. Thank you so much for joining. I was getting tired speaking alone, but we're born to speak.
Yes, Chief Shoshe. How are you? I'm trying to sort out my lighting. Ramba uchitaura ndimbosorta lighting yangu bana. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Chief Shoshe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Zimbabwe, from wherever you are. Lingabe lichona njani, lavuka njani, mthwakazi omuhle. Yebo sesiphendukile njalo lenduna yakho Shoshe, Mambo Shoshe Padare na Mambo Shoshe. Ngisithi linjani lapha lingabe likhona emagumbini amane omhlaba. Namhla sile ndaba le ndaba echazayo namuhla ekhuluma ethiwa indaba echazayo Chief nyaya inonakidza indaba ekhuluma esingathi yi-poll kumbe esithi i-research eyayenzwayo. Nxa sikhuluma nge-research sikhuluma ngento ebambekayo, into eyahlubungulwayo, umsebenzi owayenziwa ngobunono obukhulu lapha kule ndaba ekhona. I-research leyi yayimayelana lokuthi ngubani ozanqoba kukhetho oluzayo phakathi kwa-Advocate Nelson Chamisa lo Emmerson Mnangagwa. So ukhetho lolu olwaba khona, into enhle Chief engayithabelayo ngokhetho lolu kuthiwa lwayenzwa kwathathwa ama-registered voters, not just it was done from registered voters, those people that are going to vote in Zimbabwe this year. So that's how accurate these polls are. So President Nelson Chamisa had 53%, and Emmerson Mnangagwa angane mangani Mnangagwa ndingoziwa president wako
40%. He was trailing 40%.
Yes, Emmerson Mnangagwa wazuza 40%. So okuchiwo lapho okuchiwo nxa sifuna ukuchasisa ngokhetho lolu, what it simply means ngokuthi uNelson Chamisa is more popular than Emmerson Mnangagwa. So yikho okuzabe ukhetho lethu luzabe lubhese ngakhona lokho. Siyayazi izanu ukuthi vele abayekele ama-shenanigans abo, but this time akula. This time abantu bazazikhulumela and abantu bayakhuluma. Njoba lizwile uChief Shoshe ekhuluma ngokuthi uNelson Chamisa ipopularity yakhe ayikho emaralini kuphela, ayikho emavinkilini kumbe singathi emagrosa kuphela, ayikho ezimfeni kuphela. Ipopularity yakhe is all over Zimbabwe and even the world beyond, even outside Zimbabwe. He's still popular. He's very, very popular. And Chief, what I can simply say or safely say is Advocate Nelson Chamisa is now is even more popular than he was in 2018. Why am I saying this? We just launched a party which is 1 year old, but to tell you what, that party went into by-elections. Those recalled councillors, the recalled councillors, they came back, and the MPs, they came back. I think we only lost Epworth. I don't even know what happened in Epworth, but what it simply means is we retained all our seats that were recalled by Douglas Monzora. That alone, Chief, it showed me what people are still confident in bringing change. They still want change in Zimbabwe. So please, let's not tire. Let's continue registering to vote because Katesi, if there is a bliss chief that is coming, those abangelas tupa labafuna ukurejista ukuvota, get ready. In as much as indawo zokuvotela zikhona but zizinlutshwane, kuzafakwa futhi ezinye izindawo zokubhalisa ukuvota lokuthathwa kwama-birth certificates. I know, Chief, eMatebeleland, issues of IDs, you know, they are a hindrance to the rights of those people to vote, because most of them they are victims of Gukurahundi, and we all know what happened during that time, the Gukurahundi era, where those people were subjected to killings by this 5th Brigade, and also they lost their relatives. Even the IDs, you know, Chief, what happened? Most of them, the IDs were burnt. Akachira mdzimba, izitupa zachele ezindlini, and the parents perished, died. There were children who lost both their parents and also their immediate relatives. So they had no one to help them to take those IDs. So they went to school without IDs, and they finished school without IDs. Up to today, some of them, they still have got no IDs. And yet we know that the only document that you can use to vote is an ID. And the ID, you know, if you don't have an ID, it means kuti watorerwa marights ako, you've been, because an ID is a right, Chief. People should not even struggle to take or to get IDs. But you know, this system of Mnangagwa, it has made people's lives miserable. You know, everything that you want to
right, Barbara, that's where we want to go into now.
Yes.
What caused the people to make this choice? You know, it's very interesting that we have about 82% people that were interviewed, and like you correctly said, these people voted in 2018, most of them, which means they are registered voters. And the research showed that 42% of the respondents they had voted for ZANU-PF in 2018. Isn't that exciting? 42% of those that responded had actually voted Emmerson Mnangagwa, voted ZANU-PF, and now they've changed, they've shifted, and 40% of those people that said President Chamisa is going to win, he had also previously voted for CCC, then MDC. Now we want to look at why people made these choices. According to this research, it says that people cited issues to do with corruption, maladministration, bad governance. Yeah, Barbara, do you agree with that, especially when it comes to corruption and bad governance? Your comments on that? People shifted, 42% that voted for Emmerson Mnangagwa in 2018 are now saying they'll vote for President Chamisa in 2023. Your comments on that?
Yes, maybe before I go to that, Chief, I just wanted to comment on the research, how it was carried out. You know, maybe those that have not have in the opportunity of maybe coming across the process of doing a research. Chief, this is what we call empirical evidence, because you are dealing with samples. The sampling yakaitwa, it gives it then gives generalization of what will happen in the next election, basing on the sample of the people that were interviewed. So these, what I can simply say, Chief Ndezokuti, this is exactly what is going to happen in the next election. There are no two ways about it. President Chamisa is going to win the elections. Whether we like it or not, he's going to win the elections. And the issue Yawataura, the issue of corruption, the issue of bad governance, the issue of human rights violations, the issue of you name it. If you say bad governance, Chief, it encompasses a lot of things in bad governance. And if you look at how ZANU-PF is corrupt, almost every senior ZANU-PF is corrupt, and we're seeing even those people that were caught red-handed, with looting the resources of the country. They've been released from prison. Take an case here in Rushwaya, who was caught with red-handed 6 kilograms of gold. The gold was there, everyone saw it, but I am told the case has been thrown away because they citing that there's no evidence. Can you imagine? They're saying there's no evidence that she smuggled, and she was trying to smuggle 6 kilograms of gold. You look at the cases of Wana Wajikajena, the cases of Wana Fumira, not forgetting Emerson Mnangagwa and his children, the wives. The whole family is corrupt. The whole ministers, they are corrupt. The MPs are corrupt. Some even officials, as ZANU-PF or structures, those that are near the leadership, they're also corrupt, Chief. That's why you see when they defend ZANU-PF, they defend, and you think, yes, but not knowing they are defending their pockets. They know they are looting the resources of the country. Zimbabwe is very rich, Chief, with so many minerals, but very poor. Its people are poor. The resources are supposed to benefit the people of Zimbabwe, but the people of Zimbabwe are poor. Poverty, the poverty, the level of poverty that is in Zimbabwe, it's so appalling. And, to tell people that I come from Zimbabwe, and people, they know Zimbabwe it's a rich country. Even if during the colonial era, Chief, we lucky. We saw Rhodesia, we saw Rhodesia. Rhodesia was very good. The roads were intact. The services, the bus services, the Zupco, these Zupco buses, Rhodesia Women Bus Company. After every 15 minutes, there was a bus, just like here in Europe. After every 15 minutes, there was a bus. The bus would just go, even if there are 2 people or 3 people. As long as miriri kuzara kusina pressure, we would travel freely. The train, Chief, knows what train. It was it was something that was unique to Kunzwat Kwila train.
It was luxurious, and because the trains were good.
Exactly. And the services were very good, let alone when the electric train was introduced from Dabuga to Harare. It was just marvelous. But look at what ZANU-PF has done. Look at the roads. This Nika, this just a mantra. chief, is just a mantra, an empty mantra. They suppose, you can't brag to say nyika inovakwa nevene vayo, meaning ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF haizi vene venyika inoi. This country belongs to everyone. This country, as long as you are a Zimbabwean, you belong to this country. Uri mwene weZimbabwe. And they isusu tinofana kuvaudza kuti tikuda kuti nyika yedu iwakwe sei, not them telling us how Zimbabwe should be built.
Yes. We'll take a short break. Estella, if you can just show us something that shows that President Chamisa is popular everywhere, not only in the polls, but even with the people of Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Notenda vana veZimbabwe. Now 2023 akuya. Ndakanzwa masapu. Aona nhamo mumaruwa. Ari kuzinyora vanhu. Niki munyime mbeu. Uyo ngapuwe mbeu nokuti ndewemusangano. Siyananai nekutora masabhuku semijibha yemusangano. Sabhuku ndewemunhu wese changaoza, hapana risina nhopi, hapana risina mhodzi. Ita kuti munhu anogara munharaunda yako umuremekedze.
Wow, that was President Chamisa. You can see the crowd there, people loving every word that is coming from him. Moving on, the summary findings of the report was saying if an election was to be held tomorrow, President Chamisa would get 53%. But the interesting part, Barbara, is that this was not just a survey of President Chamisa or of the presidential candidate. It also talked about the parliamentary vote. And it says if an election were to be held tomorrow, the CC would win 52% of the parliamentary votes. Tapinda. So, yes. And
Yes,
Chamisa is a positive favorability. Nelson Chamisa is a positive favorability, rating 16 points higher than Emmerson Mnangagwa. So we actually said, you can actually change that. It's not 13 points. It's actually 16 points in terms of favorability. President Chamisa, is more favored than Emmerson Mnangagwa. And on governance, kutongwa kwenyika, 47% of the respondents believe that Triple C and President Chamisa would govern better. And how many for Emmerson Mnangagwa? 33%. Only 33% believe that Emmerson Mnangagwa would do a better job. But that's exactly what Barbara was saying and what the research is saying, that the people of Zimbabwe have opened up their eyes. They are now seeing what is going on. They know and they recognize the source of their suffering. The source of their suffering is Emmerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. And the only way to get out of that is obviously to remove not only Emmerson Mnangagwa, because Takambos we tried. We said remove Mugabe. Mugabe was removed, but we are still in the same quagmire. We are still, having issues even up to today. So the best way is to remove the system. Mnangagwa anofana kuenda nembwa dzake nekatsi dzake zonke. Barbara, I'm seeing Dr.
Yes,
Ziko.
I can see Champion Ziko is now here. Before I hand over to Ziko, to Dr. Ziko.
Doctor, please don't leave that.
Dr. Ziko. You know what? I just want to add, Chief, on this survey. The survey is if elections were held tomorrow and was on. So we still have how many months to election time? we still have got some more months to election time, and we don't forget Kuti, Triple C as a party has not been advertised fully because of the police that continue barring
It hasn't been launched. I said
yeah, it hasn't been launched. Yes, exactly. That's the correct wording. Kuti, the party hasn't been launched. So think of Kuti, if the party has been launched and also my campaigns can have officially where everyone will be campaigning freely. Now, you know, the CCC cannot hold my programs. They are being arrested. You know, when they are arrested, much time is spent in courts than on the ground. So I think this 53%, Chief, if we want to be fair, if we give it time, and maybe come election time, I can see President Nelson Chamisa winning, maybe getting even 75% votes than Emerson Mnangagwa. Thank you so much. I can now hand over to Dr. Dr. Isfanzi Squeeze Kamfundo.
See what's happening. He's already sharing. He's already sharing. Chinja. I am a doctor. So, Dr. Shiko, please take us through your thoughts. If elections are held today, President Chamisa would win 53%, and Emerson Mnangagwa will walk away with a paltry 40%. Your thoughts?
Yes. So, thank you so much for inviting me, Chief. And my mother there, thank you. And I don't know, can you see the survey?
We saw it once. Now we can't see it, but you once shared it. You shared it, a few minutes ago.
Okay. Let me see what I can do. Because I wanted you to see the survey.
Yeah, whatever you did a few minutes ago, we were seeing it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll come back to that. Let me go into the. Okay, I think now. Let me see. Can you see now?
No.
There's nothing.
You got it the other time.
Okay. Let me say.
I can also share it from here.
Okay.
Now can you see it?
Yes. Now
okay.
We can see it.
Yes, you can see now.
Perfect. So I just wanted to take people through the report.
Dr. Shiko, the one which is showing I'm the one who's flighting it. Let me remove it because it won't match what you are doing on your screen. Okay, now you can put yours now.
And with technology,
it's already saying that I'm sharing.
And I can see it, but it's not on the screen right now. I can see what you're doing on yours. Let me see. Okay, let me edit for you. Okay, now you can manipulate it. It will be okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
you
nice.
Can manipulate.
Okay, perfect. So I'm sure that you are seeing where it's written survey of voter opinion.
Yes.
Okay, so perfect. So we are together. So what I wanted to start by doing is just I heard a bit from mother Barbara saying that statistics and these researches, they've got a procedure. There's a way that they are done that makes it trustworthy. The first thing is you see this foundation, the Brain Trust Foundation. it's not a fly-by-night think tank or foundation. This is something that has done these things for a long time. They've done other surveys in the past. And as you can see, they were working with this Sabi strategy group. It's not a Zimbabwean-based group where you can say that they went to some corner and they just gathered the people whom they thought had the favorable opinion. But rather, these are professional groups that do analysis. They've got a reputation to protect, and they don't forge these things. They actually do the surveys. That's very important. So here you can see on this page, they put the methodology. And one of the most important things that was there, all the people that are here are registered voters. So it's not someone who is willing or who just loves the political party, but it's someone who is registered to vote. And in statistics, we talk about the numbers. That N you are seeing there actually represents numbers, meaning that 1,000 participants were actually surveyed. Yeah. And 1,000 is not a small number when it comes to statistics. It is actually a very large sample, and you can generalize it to the rest of the population. Of course, if we're able to survey millions of people, it would be better. But now that would be like the vote.
They need to become the vote.
Yeah, it will become the vote. So we leave the vote for the proper time. Then there's a margin of error, 4%. That the research is not 100% perfect. We accept it, but the margin of error is actually 4%. If you look at the field work that was done, it was from 18 January to 27 January. That's something like 1 week. It means that they were not just calling everyone on the same day. It was something, a painstaking effort over a period of time, right? Today, how many people are we going to call? Maybe 100. Tomorrow, how many people are we going to call? Maybe 100, right? You can see there's almost like 10 days here, right? From 18 to 27, that's something like 10 days, which is something like 100 people a day. That's usually how these things are structured. And you can see that it is a 15-minute questionnaire. A 15-minute questionnaire doesn't mean that the interview was done inside 15 minutes. It could have been more, but this is about, it's like when you get a news article, they calculate how long it will take an average reader to read it. It's the same thing. 15 minutes is the time it took the average respondent to complete the questionnaire. And also, it took into consideration things like the national statistics on gender, age, and province, meaning that this is not a Harare poll. This is not a Bulawayo poll. This is a national poll because we've got 10 provinces. What it means is it took people from each and every province, and every province, the people taken from every province were registered voters. That was the criteria. Then, when we talk of gender, when they say it was weighted to national statistics on gender, what it simply means is the ratio of male and female in our society was respected. So if 52% of the Zimbabwean population are women, it means that 52 out of every 100 respondents were actually women. Okay, that's the weighting. That's what we'll be talking about. If the voter population in Zimbabwe, if 90% are youths and 10% are older adults, it means that they took 90% of their sample from the youth and then 10% from the older generation. That's what it is. Meaning, if they 30% of voters are in Manicaland, for example, it means that in their sample, they would go to Manicaland and take 30% of the sample from Manicaland. That's what this weighted to national statistics sort of means there. Then let's go to the gist of the story. Of the people that were surveyed, as you can see, 75% indicated that they are going to vote. They are definitely voting. Okay, so it means that if today was an election, this would be 75% voter turnout. But these are definite. We should usually add these ones who are fairly certain, because most likely out of the 12%, we can assume that between 7 to 10% will actually go and vote if it is fairly certain. So we can say a minimum of 80% of these people who were surveyed are going to vote. And there are some who always refuse or something like that. I won't go into that. Then comes this important page. This is where the headline of various newspapers came from. You can see that here, Advocate Nelson Chamisa is predicted to win with 53% of the vote. And Mr. Dambuto is also predicted to win or to lose with a 40% margin of the vote. So when you see 53%, many people get confused, and they end up thinking that it means that ZANU-PF has got 47%. No, that's not what it means. It actually means that the president of ZANU-PF only has 40%. Okay, he has no chance at all. When elections heat up, okay, most probably this 40% is going to remain the same, and this 53% is going to remain the same. The battleground is this 7%, which is the 10 other. So the maximum vote that the current president or the incumbent president of Zimbabwe, Emmerson Mnangagwa, can garner in 2023 is a maximum of 47%. If he magically manages to transform this 7% to become his votes, something like that. So that's the statistics. That's what this statistic mean. Then from there, if you see that here, the president Nelson Chamisa is said to win with about 53%. Okay, but when it comes to the parliamentary vote, you see that Triple C, which is represented by President Nelson Chamisa, now wins with 52 instead of 53%, which is 1 percentage point down. This can be easily explained in terms of the independent candidates. There are some independent candidates who are very popular in certain regions, and therefore some people who vote for a particular president can end up voting for some independent candidate. For example, in Norton, where we have got one Themba Mliswa, it might influence the results. That's why you see a 52% here. But on the presidential election, it's clear. But if you look at ZANU-PF, they've got a 40%, which is similar to this 40% of their president, Emmerson Mnangagwa. All it means is that ZANU-PF's support is stagnant, it's static, it's the same people who were going to vote for ZANU-PF and Emmerson Mnangagwa. So here there's no variation. Maximum percentage, ZANU-PF can convert these other 8%, which will end up at 48%. So they can't have a majority in 2023. Then we go on favorability here. I'm trying to speed up a bit. As you can see, these people were getting various politicians were taken into account. You can see our president here, Nelson Chamisa, has 59% favorability rating, meaning that a majority of the respondents actually generally like the personality of our president. The ZANU-PF president, if you look, he is at 43% again, which is close to those that 40% that you got in the beginning. And this is confirming that the people who keep voting for or who kept responding as ZANU-PF, they are his strong supporters who didn't change throughout the entire survey. If you now go and look at the president Nelson Chamisa, you see he has got others like VPBT here, VP Nguve here. All these people, if you combine them, you can actually see that the CCC actually enjoys more popularity or more favorability compared to others. If you look, the president of CCC 59%, the president of ZANU-PF 43%, the vice president of CCC 41%, the vice president of ZANU-PF 36%. Yes, the former finance minister of CCC 41%, the finance minister of CCC 29%. Yes. So this is how it goes, and we've got others. We've got people like Douglas Monzora. I think he's a senator, and there's also someone called Robert Chapman. These are also like public figures, but they are less popular compared to their counterparts. So if you check now, they are going and trying to show who is winning in terms of these public figures tested what. So he's here. He's highest. This is not. People might think that somehow he has magically transformed him. This one is called like reversing the survey. You survey the favorability, then you survey negative, both positive and negative favorability. So the one with a negative favorability is expected to have the highest as well positive favorability. So if you are low on negative, you have to be high on positive. That's why you see President Nelson Chamisa here is at only 26% in terms of people who think of him negatively. So that's one thing. If you check this 26% and try to add it with the favorability rating, you can actually see that it will add to almost 90% thereabouts. It's because of that. Then when it comes to political parties, CCC is very popular. So there is this yellow, and which is the color of the CCC, and red, the color for the MDC, and this green, definitely we know that it is ZANU-PF. So this is color coding it. It is sending out a message as well. So if you see it strongly and somewhat favorable political parties, CCC is much higher, considering it's that it was launched on the 24th of January in 2022, just a little over a year. You can actually see that they are enjoying a high favorability compared to some party which was launched 42 years ago or 43 years ago. You can see that even in terms of percentages, it's like each year they were gaining 1 percentage point or losing some percentage points of favorability there. They have got 41. Then if you come to the MDC, which is another party, people don't even want to see it because if you get 55% in terms of negative favorability, it means that people don't want to see you even in the playing field. But we're a multi-party democracy, and we hope to see them participating in the election. And then from there we come to governance, which has been a bone of contention in Africa, not just in Zimbabwe. Let's see how it comes. People who believe that CCC are going to govern most effectively, it's actually 47%. Okay. Then those who believe the ZANU-PF can do a good job is 33%. And MDC will do a good job, 2%. No one actually believes the MDC can actually do a good job in governance. They even think that ZANU-PF is better. Maybe it's because of the connotation or the public rhetoric that the MDC is part of ZANU-PF, something like that, or it has been usurped, something like that. That's why we see this. Then from there, if you go to the 54% of the respondents believes Zimbabwe is moving in the wrong direction. This is because of ZANU-PF. Everyone is believing that the healthcare sector is being destroyed. The economy is not heading anywhere because the inflation is highest in the world, as we know. So 54% think it's in the wrong direction, and 37% think it is in the right direction. If you look at this screen, if you look at the statistics again, 37%, these are the ZANU-PF people who said that they would vote for Emerson Mnangagwa, they would vote for ZANU-PF. They are the same 37% that you are seeing here, who are saying that the country is moving in the right direction. So that's the trend that we are looking at. When it comes to corruption, which we are trying to fight day and night, you can see that corruption and jobs, these are the most important issues. We've got over 95% unemployment, and we also have rampant corruption. We've got some people who steal monies, 5 million, they are removed from jail, they are removed from remand, and they go scot-free. We've got people who take gold, they are then claimed to have taken the wrong bag. We've got people who build, who get money for solar, and they don't even deliver on the job, but still they get compensated after winning some shady court cases, something like that. That's the rampant corruption. And corruption is ranking highly, which is 35% of people think that corruption has to be addressed. This is also as a result of the positive campaign or anti-corruption campaign led by people like journalist Hopewell. Then if you come to jobs, it's still the same. Unemployment rate, 27%, think that jobs are important. I know that many people are hustling, many people are vending, and we've got an informal sector. That's why corruption is much higher than the jobs. Failed political system, 9%. Then electricity, 5%. Weak leadership, 5%. Poor police, 5%. Security, 2%. Land, 1%. And then 9% here, other. And then the other were refusing. If you go to the respondents that respondents was the ZANU-PF government of the past 4 decades responsible for the issues of concern, it's 60%. Everyone understands that, or most people understand that the problem is there. That is there is because of ZANU-PF. If you subtract the 40% that said they would vote Emerson Mnangagwa, the 40% that said they would vote ZANU-PF, you can actually clearly see that all the people who are not voting Emerson Mnangagwa, you know that he is the problem. That's why we have these statistics like 60%. Sanctions, these are definitely ZANU-PF people. Then MDC or CCC, you can see if you edit, it's additive, you can put it here. The West, these are ZANU-PF people again, you can edit them. The colonial past, these are ZANU-PF people again, you can edit there. Racists, you can edit that 1% there. Don't know or refused, these are still ZANU-PF people, most probably. Maybe a few who tried to be normal. So if you add everything here, you can clearly get to the number of ZANU-PF there. That's the other thing. Let's go. We are almost there. 51% of the respondents admire the West the most. And that is, you see, here we've got people who believe that we need to have a good relationship with other continents or other countries. UK, definitely many people, UK, European countries, and the US and South Africa. This is where the majority of our people are. In South Africa, we've got about 51% or 52% of all the people, the Zimbabwean diaspora is in that country. And you can see that most of them, they actually think that, okay, the West is okay. People who believe China is okay, you can see here it's 5%. Russia, you can see it's 5%. None of the above. If you add all this, China, Russia, and this, you can almost get to the same figures we were talking about when it comes to ZANU-PF. Coalition government, people would like to see. This is because we had the GNU and it worked better. And I think many people see coalitions as okay. When it came to the Ukraine issue, which I won't focus on, but which is very important, if you check that Russia's invasion of Ukraine is an act of aggression, and that this should be condemned. This is 58%, almost like the 60% we saw above. These are saying that it's justified. These are the same people who are voting for ZANU-PF, and they are afraid that what is happening, what Russia is doing, they've got similar views to Russia, and they are afraid that if they don't support Russia for one reason or another, they will be in trouble. That's why you are seeing this 26%. And if you add, usually those who refused are part of the group that actually thought that Russia is doing the right thing. And we strongly condemn what is happening. People are still trying to leave Zimbabwe. As you can see, 46%, if they get a passport and a chance, they leave immediately. They don't even need 1 week to pack. They would leave as soon as possible. 46%. That's a huge number for a country which has got over 1/3 of its population already in the diaspora. People shouldn't be willing to live like this. And if you go on this 27%, I will not want to leave Zimbabwe. 27%, okay? Or I will stay 4%, which is to something like 31%. Wait until the next general election. If you see, the pattern is very clear that many people no longer want to be in Zimbabwe. If you add 22% and 46%, you get to 68%. These who are waiting will likely leave as well. If you go on the next tab there, you can actually see that 78% of the respondents have a close member living outside of Zimbabwe. So 78% of the respondents actually had a diaspora family member. And mostly these people know those members because they are getting remittances from them, that 1 billion, over 1 billion that the diaspora sends. This is what we are talking about. This is the 78%, meaning that only 21% of the people didn't have a relative in the diaspora. And these close family members, not friends. They are so, it means they have a brother, they have a sister, a mother, a father, or a child who is outside of the country. That's what this statistic actually means. Then you can actually see that the majority of the diaspora, this corresponds, a verification that this study is authentic. 51% of the people are actually in South Africa, for the people who are surveyed. And we know that the majority of Zimbabweans living in the diaspora are actually in South Africa. So it corresponds. It means that there is no, there is little bias, or there's a 4% deviation that we can add here, meaning that it can be plus 4, which is 55%, or minus 4, which is 47%, something like that. So after South Africa, the UK. After the UK, elsewhere in Africa, then we've got Australia, Europe, US, as you can see. So everyone has got a family member somewhere. That is the 78% there. And when it comes to free and fair elections, you can actually see here that 47% of the respondents believe that the general election will not be free and fair. And look again at this green bar here, which says that 38% actually believe that the election will be free and fair. These are the same people who are saying that they would vote for the incumbent president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, or they would vote ZANU-PF. So it's good to look at all the numbers that are going through the trend. You can actually tell where this statistic is coming from. So this is the 38%, which is slightly below. But if you see that there are 15% who refused it, or who said we don't know, you can actually see that we can easily get to that 40% again. 41% of the respondents who believe the election will not be free and fair believe there will be cheating in the counting process. You see, 41%, if you corroborate with the statistics on top, this actually tallies. You can see government is abusing its power, security policy, and all that. So this is where we are coming, and we have come to the end of the slides themselves. You can see that here we've got a summary of the findings. So the first takeaway was, if an election were held tomorrow, Nelson Chamisa would win 53% of the vote tomorrow, meaning that during the remaining 5 to 6 months, we can actually see that there is a possibility that Nelson Chamisa is going to shoot as he is given more room to campaign by the law. So you will actually be able to exceed this 53%. If an election were to be held tomorrow, Triple C would win 52% of the parliamentary vote. Okay, meaning that the Triple C has not yet put their candidates, the consensus candidates have not yet been selected. But the people actually believe that the Triple C is going to select community candidates, and that means that this number will shoot when the popularity of the local candidates is also put into place. So it's possible, it's easily possible for Triple C to go over the 2/3 majority. Nelson Chamisa has a positive favorability rating of 16 points higher than Emmerson Mnangagwa. We all know that many people have said, or many commentators, or many studies have shown that in the 2023 election cycle, Emmerson Mnangagwa is actually unelectable. He won't win no matter what he tries to do, unless a huge miracle happens, as the other respondents believe that there can be some cheating. That's the only way ZANU-PF can win. But even that is very difficult when people vote in their numbers. When it comes to governance, 47% believe Triple C can govern more effectively, while 33% believe ZANU-PF can govern more effectively. ZANU-PF doesn't even need to be commented whether they can govern more effectively. They are the government and they are failing. So this is justified. This is a justified conclusion. If you can look that 54% actually know or believe that Zimbabwe is going in the wrong direction. This is obvious. We talked about this. And a majority of respondents believe ZANU-PF government is responsible. They are in government. If you are the leader, you have to be responsible. And the last 3 points, a majority of the respondents are happy to see a coalition govern Zimbabwe, meaning that to take care of the 40% who still believe ZANU-PF can help, then they need to come into a coalition with the government of the day, which will be CCC after the elections. Then if you come to the 58% who believe that Russia is invasion is an act of aggression, as we said, that you see that the 38% that is there or something like that is actually because of the 42% is because of the people who vote ZANU-PF and believe that what Russia is doing is okay. Then we've got 78% of the percent. This is now about the diaspora. We talked about this. And 47% who actually believe in election rigging. This is not, they are not being naive. It's because of what they've done in the past. That's why people have got such beliefs. So what I can generally say when it comes to this survey, the survey is clear. It was actually done by professionals, and it's something that both or all the political parties should take seriously. ZANU-PF, if they are to improve, they have to take this seriously. They don't have to think that there is foul play, because otherwise they will be in for a big shock after the elections. The CCC, if there is something that they are doing right, they need to keep doing this so that at least they don't get shocked after their gains have been reversed. So that would be an elaboration of the survey results. Back to you.
Zvadirwa shuga. Nasi taita, you know, the statistics 101 yataitiswa panapa. Tatopinda, we now know statistics.
Doctor of knowledge.
Yes. I want. This is good. So now I want to ask you guys questions here, so that we conclude this with something, you know, tangible. You know, it's tangible. The whole survey is tangible. Barbara, what do you think is the significance of this survey in terms of Zimbabwean citizens? What we can do with it? You know, what do you think it can influence? You know, within the generality of Zimbabweans.
Before you even finished, ndanda kutopindura wanga watondinonokera. Miss. Yeah, zvatondinonokera chief. This research can be used as a you know, the chief voter mobilization tool. You know, because remember that most people that haven't registered to vote are the most difficult people. Why would you by now not have registered to vote? Which means those people want my doubts. They don't see the need to vote, or they think that voting is just wasting your time. They don't even know that voting is your right. And they don't know what is a right. A right it's something that is unalienable. You can't take it away from somebody. But they are giving away their right to ZANU-PF. That's why ZANU-PF richinzi inoriga. Hairigi ZANU-PF. It simply takes the numbers of those that are supposed to have registered wavhara magap kuti Zimbabwe tine vanhu vangani. Even those that registered that don't vote, chief. I think this one, after having this analyzed this survey, those people that registered to vote and that don't vote must be encouraged by this survey to go and vote when elections come. So I see it as a very, very powerful campaigning tool.
Wow, powerful. Dr. Zico, how do you think this can impact fundraising in the diaspora and in Zimbabwe and everywhere else, corporate world?
Yes. So first of all, I would just like to weigh in on the issue of voter, how it impacts voter registration, the question you gave to my colleague here, because it is very important. The first thing is, this survey only took the opinions of registered voters. So to someone who is not registered to vote, you have already been left out. And if you don't register to vote, your opinion won't matter very much, and you surrender your right to complain. That's generally what I got from this. When it comes to its impact on fundraising, I think it is I can't say it is like a thank you to the diaspora, because all the popularity that the CCC is gaining, or most of the popularity, is because one, the combined effort between the people on the ground and the people in the diaspora. The diaspora have been sending resources, fundraising, giving people confidence, looking for money to defend the vote. And because of this, it's like a thing, it is confirming what we already know, that the diaspora is very important in the electoral processes. When it comes to fundraising itself, if I was in the diaspora and I see such a survey, I would ask myself, if the favorability ratings are already on our side, I would sacrifice my resources for the final 5 months and then be free after election, knowing that the people can have their own jobs. I don't have to send them remittances. So the money I sent now, it's like I have invested in the future. So to everyone who analyzes this, they can actually realize that this is an opportunity and it should galvanize people together. I'll give you an example of the Senegalese diaspora. Many people think that the Zimbabwean diaspora was the first to come up with the idea of fundraising for a car to protect their presidential candidate. In Senegal, there is a presidential candidate called Sonko. When the Senegalese diaspora bought him a 498,000 armored car, these are US dollars we are talking about in terms of value. People thought that this is just, they thought it was not possible. Zimbabwe did it, Senegal did it. People like Sonko then campaigned for things like the diaspora vote. The diaspora community in Senegal actually votes because they send remittances, they support their movements. At the end of the day, because of their fundraising, they have got more voice when it comes to the national issues. So I would say this is a positive impact on the fundraising capacity of the political parties, which are viewed favorably by the diaspora.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shiko. To those that are just joining us, we are discussing the survey here by Sabi Strategist organization or group that predicted that if elections are held today, President Chamisa will win by 53%. I know Shiko would want to correct me on that. And Emerson Mnangagwa would get 40%. He doesn't agree with me, but from a layman's point of view, that's how we are taking it, and we love it like that. Yeah, so you're welcome to join the discussion, guys. Please write in the comment section. Let's see some comments. Let's hear what the people are saying, how they are taking this discussion. We're almost getting towards the end of the discussion, but I still have a few more questions to my panelists here. Yeah, this one, to both of you. Do you think this might also have a negative impact on CCC's performance? You know, talking about complacence, that you know, they've been told that they are going to win. And do you also think that it might also be a wake-up call to ZANU-PF? Can it equip ZANU-PF, you know, to do more in terms of finding their default modes, you know, of rigging elections? Barbara, you wanna go first or Dr. Shiko?
Okay, I can go first.
Mhm.
Since I'm the mother.
Okay, the mother to the son.
I think Chief, CCC being a new party that hasn't been launched, I don't think the members of the CCC are going to relax and say it at all in Akara. No, I think this is going to encourage them more to work harder. Each and every member of Triple C is now going to work harder towards registering or encouraging people to register to vote, because right now, Chief, the only message that you are carrying, nothing else, voter registration. We want to attract as much voters as possible, especially the virgin voters, the first time voters. If we manage to convince those and the youth, then we are home and dry. Even 100% we can win. Mnangagwa can get even 0%. Those 40%, they can still they can come to us during the election. There's no doubt about that, because mukomana ari kurira, mukomana ari kurira these days. So come election time, anenge akurira times 5. So ZANU-PF, even if it's a wake-up call for ZANU-PF, there's nothing much that they can do, Chief. If you can maybe, if you follow my Twitter post by people, I follow Twitter a lot. You know, they are struggling to convince people. You know, they even go to extent of lying to say this road, we built this road, we built this, and then people just plug up the roads for it to be discovered kuti those are roads, or maybe they'll be buildings are built in other countries. They will be just extract those pictures and put them against those that ZANU-PF would have put. Vari kunyadziswa zvimwe zviya they've tried. Nyika inovaka newenewayo, they are not even doing anything. It's just rhetoric. It's just a mantra, empty mantra. So ZANU-PF can never, even if, unless if they, I know they I know what I say, they strive in beating people, but tell you what, even if you beat people, you'll never convince them to vote for you because you've beat them. Instead, vanotoita nini, you beat them today, come election, they will not vote for you. Zvakafanana nemurume anorova mukadzi. You beat a wife, you think the wife is gonna love you. No, the wife will never love you. She will leave you and go to another and look for other men that are loving. It's simple.
Wow. Dr. Shiko.
Yeah.
Yes, the issue of complacence, that's a very important question, Chief. But what I can say is, if you in a boxing game, if you have got you are the favored one to win, if you've got favorability, if people say that you have got the right weight, you did the right training, you cannot say that I will stop training, then I'll go and get in the ring, because it means the moment you are complacent, it reduces. Then for me, I want to give a more recent example. If you check that after the survey was already published, the Triple C became activated. The youths went ahead and actually launched a campaign called REAP, meaning that you need to register, elect, and protect the vote. This was launched after the survey. If Triple C was going to be complacent, they would have seen the survey and started sleeping. But Triple C is even going to do more, because ZANU-PF has to grow in its totality. If ZANU-PF is still getting 40%, which means that we have not yet started the mobilization. ZANU-PF should start getting 1%, like the other parties we were seeing, 2%. Those are the correct ratings for ZANU-PF. Right now, ZANU-PF is still being rated highly. So CCC cannot be, and should not be, and must not be complacent at any point.
Powerful. You know, folks, you are hearing from our commentators here, and we want to hear more from you guys. Let's hear the comments, what you think about this survey. But my greatest takeaway here is from Barbara and from Dr. Ziko, is that it's going to motivate, galvanize diaspora, galvanize everyone. The corporate world is going to feel good about supporting CCC because they know that they stand a very big chance of winning this election. Even the people at home that were given $5 and maybe they were beginning to give up hope because of what is happening in Zimbabwe, they will also begin to say, you know what, maybe if I sacrifice a little more in the next 5 months, let me, give tenfold, let me put, $100 or $200. So generally, we're going to see an increment or an increase in the number of people that are going to want to support or partner with the CCC in terms of finances and in terms of fundraising in our groups. And talking about fundraising, I saw Mr. Mareza here, the youth chairperson or interim youth chairperson in North America has posted a fundraiser for the youth. He's coming up with his fundraiser for the youth because of what we are talking about here. So the people that are here, please jump onto that coffee. Let's do something. You are hearing the good news here that if we work, if we do what we have to do, definitely President Chamisa will be in the office. I love hearing that because there's been a lot of negativity. ZANU-PF thrives on propaganda, and they use people that you least expect. Some of those people are amongst us, and they'll be coming to you, whispering in your ears, telling you that it's pointless to go and vote. Chamisa is going to lose anyway. ZANU-PF is just going to rig. Look the way they are beating you up. Do you think you stand a chance? On the election, they're still going to beat you up, and they're going to win. And that demoralizes people. Even people that wanted to support the party, the millionaires, the business people, and ordinary Zimbabweans, that just wanted to give, they would stop giving or they would just give minimally. But this, to me, is a game changer. And let's use it. Let's take advantage of it. And I'll come again with the last question to my two learned friends. Right. So you've talked about all the advantages and disadvantages, the merits and demerits of this. What do you think CCC should do to increase this gap? 53%, it's not good enough. We want 60%, we want 70%. If possible, we want to do what they did in Swaziland. We want 100%. What is it that President Chamisa, CCC, and the citizens need to do to increase this percentage?
I think, like we said, Chief, the message that we are carrying, or maybe we are relaying to the masses of Zimbabwe is voter registration. Please, wherever you are, you if you are not a registered voter, please go and register. If your family is not registered, please go and tell them to go and register. Those that are in diaspora, please, before you send that money, before you send those goods, check if your families are registered to voters. If they are not registered, don't send them money. Don't send people money that are not registered, because what it means, Chief, we are working so hard here in the diaspora. You are working shifts 24/7. We are not resting, only to send money to people who do not even want change in their country because they are getting money from us who are working very hard. We are living in squalid conditions. The countries that we are living in, they are so cold. We are not used to this weather. We want to go back to Zimbabwe where there's sunshine. So people should register to vote. and then yekuvhota tichazodzoka takuudza vanhu kuti votai. But now the message is register to vote. As the woman chief, the women in Triple C, the task force led by Mai Mkwada, they've also got their campaign that they are moving with. You know, they are encouraging women to register to vote. We know that women are more than 52%, the population of the whole population, 52% are women. So we are the game changers. We are the mothers of this country. The children, ndevedu, varume vacho ndevedu. So tisu tines, you know, so we should encourage. Muri vanhu vedu. So tisu tines, as mothers of this nation, we should encourage people to vote. I was just telling you about the Triple C women task force agenda, where they are encouraging people to register, and their theme is women arise, women arise, Pagama Mama, Simuka Mudzimai, 2023. And then it's saying register big, vote big, win big, or defend big, and then win big, whichever. Paunoda unogona togona kutanga nekuwina to defend, togona kutanga nekudefend to win. Zvese zviri possible. So this is the message that we are carrying as women of Triple C, as champions, Triple C champions, so that mukomana anopinda zvake achimacha ku-state house pasina kana pressure. Thank you.
Powerful. Dr. Zwiko.
Yeah, so what the Triple C has to do, that's a pertinent question, and it's something that if we have the answers, we would also go and whisper them to everyone who is willing to listen. But I will attempt to answer from my own perspective. The first thing is, according to the survey, 78% of the respondents have got a family member who is in the diaspora. This statistics is profound. What it means is the diaspora alone can reach to 78% of the voting population before we even talk about doing any activity on the ground. So what I would say is the Triple C has to energize the diaspora as much as they work on the ground, because the diaspora can make direct calls, and most of them are sympathetic to the change cause. So the major task force that has to be in the Triple C is the diaspora task force, where if I call my grandfather, my mother, and my parents in the rural areas, and I'm in the diaspora, talk to them about change. When I go to them, they are not seeing a politician. They are not seeing someone against the family or the government. They are seeing their child, they are seeing their mother, they are seeing their father, and the conversation is much easier. People are swayed more by the people that they trust and the people that they know. And the people that they trust are the people in the diaspora. Why? If they say, Daddy, I want some school fees here in Zimbabwe, and you take your money and you give them, that is a process of trust building. So it means when you also go and tell them that, my child, I've been supporting you, but see that you could actually be doing this for yourself if you were here or in another country, that person is bound to listen more compared to someone who has been approached by a stranger. So the diaspora task force, if you now add that with the strategic program of Mugwazo, where people go door to door, they stay in the communities and stuff, you can actually see that it is very easy to win for change. Then besides that, I loved the point that was made by Mother. The issue of women. Women should not only be included in terms of them being voters. Communities should elect mothers and sisters into positions of responsibility as well, and vote for each other during those elections, as well as the fathers, the children. Everyone should vote for the female relative who will be on the ballot paper. So I personally think if the women are involved, if the youth are involved, if the diaspora is involved, and I'm not saying that the male counterparts are not supposed to be involved. The male counterpart, usually they fit in either of the categories. It's either they are in the diaspora, it's either they are members of the youth, but most women are actually in Zimbabwe on the ground to vote. Husbands go abroad, some cross the border, they go through Limpopo to go to South Africa and that. So to me, it's a coalition. Everyone should come in. The other thing that is important is to also make sure that the professionals participate in the politics, not just as commentators, but to go and help come up with the strategies to help the movement. That's what I would say. So the diaspora, the youth, the women, and the professionals. We need professionals to rebuild Zimbabwe. We need engineers, we need doctors, we need accountants, we need everyone. We need even people who are going to design a strategy of removing litter in the country. People who are going to clean our polluted water in Chivero. We need people that are going to electrify the rural areas. I know that the energy problems that are there in Zimbabwe can be easily solved by decentralization of electricity production, like what happens in other regions. Farming can easily be transformed through the smart agriculture policies. Health, right now, the healthcare sector is down, but the professionals can easily come and turn that around. So this is very important, and I will just end with what this colleague has written, that Mnangagwa is unelectable. That's the most important point. So Triple C just need to make sure that they get someone electable, because Mnangagwa is not presidential material at all. So that's all we need to understand. We have presidential material, we maintain that. Mnangagwa is maintained there. If ZANU-PF wants to lose, it's their own baby. We are not going to help them win by putting a different person. They need to keep Mnangagwa there so that we defeat them in a big way. Thank you so much, Chief.
Powerful, powerful. Masimaza, diaspora has a power. Don't give them money until they show you register slip. We are tired. This is a message to diasporans. You know, like Champion Barbara was saying, please do not just give away money in Zimbabwe. You have power. You are an influencer. You can influence change in Zimbabwe, you know, from the comfort of your home in Oxford, in London, in Atlanta, in Canada, in China, you know, just by talking, communicating with your folks on the ground, telling them that they need to go and register to vote. You know, register to vote, just like Barbara. Morgan Move is saying, it's so sad that only God can help here. Miracle is needed. Goliath and Giant is standing, push more in dialogue. All of you are talking the right vision. Go deeper in all sectors to win people's trust. Just be strong and courageous. Very, very profound there, Mr. Nuve. Go deeper. Anotida Manyonga Kune mayouth es ari kwa Chivi. Go and attend CC's rally at Mashingo Chivi Growth Point, and don't forget to register to vote and vote for change. President Nelson Chamisa. Yes, that's the message. Let's keep pushing this message. Masmas, again, they need to register. Otherwise, we won't send money to them. Yeah, yes, that's very true. We need to do this now as diasporans. I think our duty in rural areas kuvaudza vabereki vedu kuti hakusisina hondo nekuti vari kunyeperwa nezano kuti nyika inoenda hondo ikadzoka. Nderimwe basa rinodiwa iroro kumusha. Please use this in your community groups, in your family groups. Talk to them, talk to your relatives. Send this kind of messages that you are sending here. Let's not just end here. Talk to your folks. Use your family groups effectively. I post something in our family groups almost every day. They are tired of that. But I post it. They see it. You know, God is standing with our hearts. Dai Mwari vatibatsira taneta na Faro really do it. Thank you so much for your comments. And I would want to give Dr. Zwiko and Champion Barbara an opportunity to round up their last remarks. And Barbara, as you round up, I want you to just also address what we are doing now, what Triple C is doing now, what President Chamisa is doing now to ensure that he gets the 53%. What you are seeing right now, the youth task force, the women task force, is that the right direction? Personally, of course, I think it's a masterpiece of a strategy. So your last words, Champion Barbara.
Yes, thank you so much, Chief, and also thank you so much, Dr. Zwiko. That was very powerful. It was a very powerful presentation, Chief. I think this program should be shared to many people so that they know exactly what President Chamisa is made of. It's so encouraging if you see such a professional surveys coming out and in favor of Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Yes, there are programs that are going on, Chief, like I said before, kuti gurukuro yatiringotaura nezvayo, it's registration to vote. Let's encourage everyone to register to vote. We have centers that we advertise every on Change Radio. Go to Change Radio every, you see manzvimbo dzekuvhotera. Go to CCC Twitter handles. You will see where you should go and register to vote. Please, let's register to vote and vote for Nelson Chamisa. Advocate Nelson Chamisa said, Chief Kuti, when CCC is in government, they will make sure Kuti, every mwana paanotena 18 years, automatically they are registered voters. And also, I was also even here in the UK, I'm a registered voter. It didn't even take me 1 minute to register to vote. And I changed, I changed my address, like where I used to stay, I moved to another place. So I tried to change my address, Chief, within a second. I was done. I don't even know where the offices are. You ask me where are the offices. I don't even know where they are. And I don't even want to know where they are because everything is here on my phone. I can do it on my phone in the comfort of my home. The weather here in the UK is very unfavorable, but you don't even go out trying to register to vote, no queues. Everything is sailing smoothly. This is the Zimbabwe that we are yearning for. This is the reason why we are saying people should register to vote. Yebo mthwakazi omuhle besikhuluma ngesurvey. I think likubonile kade sokufake ku screen lokuthi Advocate Nelson Chamisa ukhangelelwe ukuthi uzawina okuzwayo kukhetho oluzayo. So lapha sikhuthaza abantu ukuthi lihambe le-register ukuvota. Bomama khuthazana abantwana bahambe bevota, khuthazana obaba bahambe bevota. Those in diaspora khuthazanini abantwana kumbe obaba abazali back home ukuthi baregister ukuyavota. Kathesi indaba esikhuluma ngayo ngeyokuregister ukuvota kuphela. Okuvota sizaphenduka ngokuregister. Let's register to vote ukwenzela ukuthi wona umfana angene, ujaha angene. Ngiyabonga, Chief. Thanks.
Thank you. Powerful, Champion Barbara. Dr. Zwiko.
So for me, maybe my final words is that is to the voters. Just register to vote and don't fret. when we say change is coming, or when the president the president Nelson Chamisa says change is coming, he is not saying empty words. They are professionals like myself and others who are in the diaspora. We know how to revive Zimbabwe. We know what needs to be done, and we know how to do it. When Mother was talking, I actually thought about the election process here, using algorithms. When the vote started counting in Czech Republic, which is a country in Central Europe, the prediction of by how much percentage the winning candidate would win and the losing candidate would lose, had already been predicted in less than 10 minutes after closing of the vote.
Wow.
And inside 1 hour and 30 minutes, the presidential vote was already known. There are systems that can be implemented that you can't cheat. I'm saying this to show people that it's only a matter of how we are going to deploy technology. The money we use in Zimbabwe to conduct elections is more than enough to build a very simple election system, which can count our elections. We don't have to wait for days. You just need a few hours to know the election result. And people can say it's 1 hour, maybe it's a voter population of maybe 1 million. No, it was actually almost equivalent to Zimbabwe. There's about 6 million. There are about 6 million registered voters in that country. And they did it inside 1 hour. 6 million votes had already been counted. So we are here and we know how to turn the fortunes of the country. And there are many things that have not yet been talked about, which are going to happen as soon as we get into a new Zimbabwe. And this is where we drive the confidence to say that Zimbabwe is going to get better. We know all the investment corridors that are out there. Lessons have been taken from places like the Silicon Valley, the Bay Area in the United States. Lessons have been taken from places like the Golden Triangle in the UK, from places like Shenzhen in China, places like the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah in the United Arab Emirates, the Cape Town Stellenbosch corridor in South Africa, of how we can actually jumpstart Zimbabwe both economically and technologically. We have got leading experts in health that are out there. And most importantly, we've got people in Zimbabwe who are on the ground, who are familiar with the problem. They know what is the problem. So if you combine people who have got who know what is the problem and people who have seen various solutions, you can easily create an exceptional solution. So when we say change is coming, it means change is coming. Your role as a voter is to just vote. Then the professionals are going to help you do the job and fix the country. That's the trust. Thank you, Chief. And maybe for those who didn't know, our champion from Australia, Tino Chiremba, was laid to rest today. May his soul rest in peace. We are here, but our thoughts are with his family. The program took the whole day, and the pain will stay for a lifetime. And we say condolences once again to the Chiremba family. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zwiko. And it was wonderful that President Chamisa attended that funeral. And, people in the diaspora are appreciating that gesture of support from the champion-in-chief. Closing remarks from yours truly, Chief Soshe. I think you have heard that Dr. Zwiko and Champion Barbara speaking here, that change is indeed coming. And when you see President Chamisa speaking enthusiastically about the change that is about to come, you know, you better start believing him, because he's just not speaking speaking in Shona, deep Shona. He is speaking something that he knows, something that he believes. And, you know, some people, you know, even myself, I sincerely believe that change is definitely coming. And I'm boosted by this survey, you know, that is now putting numbers to all the speculation, to everything that you have been doing. And people of Zimbabwe, you should know that when you hear someone saying kana kuti ofu, you know, a weaker person or seemingly weaker person, aitaura kuti ndokurowa, ziya kuti pane chaakabata, pane chaakapfumbata. Ukanzwa President Chamisa achitaura kuti tiri kupinda, change is coming. He knows what he is holding. He knows what he has. He knows what is in the citizens. He has belief in you. He trusts in you. And we trust in him. And they trust the process. Trust your leaders. Now, of course, that change is not just going to come. We need to work for it. We need to, you know, do everything that we can, everything, you know, remotely possible that we can do to ensure that change comes. Here in the diaspora, these are the takeaways, you know, the call to action for every one of you. Please talk to your relatives, talk to your folks in Zimbabwe that they need to go and register to vote. I don't know what incentives or punishment you're going to use to make them go and register to vote, but do something. If it is money, I don't know. If it is talking to them, if it is persuading them, whatever you're going to use, just make sure that your family is registered. Can you imagine 5 million people that are in the diaspora, 5 million families that are in Zimbabwe, you know, are told to go and register to vote, enforced. Find a way of making sure that they all go and register to vote. It means even the people on the ground will not even have much to do. We won't even have to spend so much money, you know, ferrying people in trucks, in buses, because you are playing your role. You are giving your relative, your sister, your uncle, your sekuru, your ambuya, the $2 to go and register to vote. If all of us in the diaspora could take that as a responsibility, you know, and ensure that our people go and register to vote, and you transport them yourself to go and register to vote, I'm telling you, the burden will be so much easier. First, takeaway. Second, call to act. Let's do what we can in terms of fundraising. There is no struggle. There is no no programs that will move. You will not win any liberation struggle without resources. We need resources. Our brothers and sisters, our fellow comrades on the ground, they need resources. So whatever you are doing, we thank you for that. And I know you have done a lot. We appreciate that. Just double it. Just double it, if not triple it. Yeah. In fact, if you have given in the past 4 years that we have been, you know, we've been in this phase of our struggle, if you have given $500, double that in the next 5 months. The next 5 months are critical. How is it that you know, you suffer now for the next 5 months, you sacrifice now for the next 5 months, and then in August you're okay? You don't have to send any school fees. You don't have to support any siblings, anyone, you know, uncles, children in Zimbabwe. You don't have to send anyone to school, you know, other than your own children. You know, you are now on your own. You are now relying. Your money is now for yourself only. Imagine what you could have done. You know, at one time I took my Western Union, my MoneyGram, and my World Remit receipts. You know, I don't know what, they filled up a box, and I was calculating the money. I was like, oh my goodness, you know, this is so much money that I've sent to Zimbabwe. So you can imagine that money going to your savings, that money going to your retirement. It's possible. It's possible. You know, in August, we could be talking about something. They say in English, pain is temporary, sacrifice is temporary, but victory is permanent. So let's do this. Let's support the programs that are going on, the youth programs that are going on, Champion Taku, Mai Mkwada, and the organizing task force and other task forces that are coming. Let's support them with whatever we can. This is a brilliant strategy by President Chamisa, putting people into tasks, giving them tasks to do. It's working, and it's working brilliantly. Let's support and see what will happen in July. Folks, I want to thank you so much for joining. This has been a wonderful discussion, wonderful interaction from all of you through the comment section. We have wanted some of you to come up and speak, but this discussion will go on. We'll continue to discuss this survey and many other strategies that the party will be implementing, so that we are all on the same page. Thank you so much, and Stella behind the scenes, we appreciate you. Champion Barbara, Dr. Rico, thank you so much for being here, and all our viewers and listeners, we value you, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Until we meet again in other programs, yours truly, Chief Shoshe, signing off. Thank you, good night, God bless you, and God bless the incoming president of Zimbabwe, Advocate Nelson Chamisa.